In today's cook, we are making the Colonel's secret recipe. That's right, guys. We are making a KFC chicken. We're cooking it in the air fryer. I believe this is going to be pretty authentic, and I think you're going to absolutely love this. Now, allegedly, a few years ago, a relative of the Colonel actually leaked this recipe, as you can see on screen. There has been fist debate to the authenticity of this recipe. KFC have rejected it, but a lot of people think it is as close as you can get. So you can see that it has basil, oregano, thyme, paprika, ginger, celery salt, garlic salt, ground white pepper, mustard, salt and pepper. But if we look at the allergy chart on KFC's website, it says no mustard. And if you look at this document I found online, it clearly says that they also have MSG as part of the actual recipe. Now, I'm going to be using all of the ingredients that you saw on screen that I listed. I'm also going to be using plain flour and corn flour in my mix. I'm going to be using 2 eggs, and I'm going to be using some nice fresh chicken, chicken thighs, and chicken drumsticks. So we're going to use 1 teaspoon of each of the herbs, a teaspoon of the ground ginger. We move on to the paprika, where I'm going to be using 4 teaspoons of the paprika, the celery salt 1 teaspoon, the garlic granules 2 will be more than enough. Now the ground white pepper, I'm using 2 level. The recipe asks for more, but I've tried it before and it just gets too much. Then about 5 grounds of salt and about 15 to 20 grains of the black pepper, and that's going to give you your mix. We're then going to add 2 tablespoons of corn flour. You go for 1.5 to 2. Then you're going to go with the plain flour, where you're going to go for 3 to 4. So you can see on screen that I have used 3. I'm going to add another one in a minute. Once it's all in it, give it a bit of a mix. You can see I'm adding another one because I just felt like it needed a little bit more of the plain flour to get that nice thick coating. Make sure that it is fully mixed. Now I'm going for a very simple approach to the breading. I'm using an egg mix that I've whisked up, and then I've got my breading that I've just prepared. I'm not going for pre-flouring. Don't think it really needs it, to be perfectly honest. Now coat it in the egg mixture fully, drip it a little bit, then drop it into your breading, and then completely coat it in the mix, compact it a little bit down, and then you want to just go through the process of shaking the bowl, turning it around so that it is fully covered. Now what you will notice is as the chicken moves about, crevices open up that don't have any coating. So you want to move it about so you can fully get everything in those nooks and those crannies. Lift it up, as you can see here, and just pour some of that in so it gets fully coated. And you'll be surprised at how thick the end result, the coating becomes. Okay, so lift it up, mix it about, give it a bit of a shake because you want to get any excess get off, and then put it on your board, and then go through the process of coating all of your chicken. Now once you get to the end, what you will notice is that some of the egg mixture has hydrated the flour. Now what we really want to avoid it sticking to the air fryer, we want this to be fully dry. So if you have got any bits that have hydrated, you want to stick it back in there and get it coated with a bit more. You don't need any further oil. We'll now jump across to the air fryer, where we're going to set it to 180 degrees Celsius. We're going to cook it for 25 minutes. Now there's no need to oil or preheat the air fryer. After a couple of minutes, now I left it a little bit, 8 minutes there. After 3 or 4 minutes, you can then get the oil and really give it a spray. Now the reason why we do this is because if you oil the basket, you've got a much more higher chance of the chicken sticking because you're wetting the breading. Okay. Likewise, if we spray the top too early, we're not giving it a chance to solidify. So let it solidify in the heat and then spray it with the oil. When you're about halfway through, you can give it a bit of a shake so it doesn't stick, and it won't really stick. You can see here I flipped it over, it's looking good. You don't necessarily need to oil both sides because the oil and the fat will drain out and it will cover the bottom. So when you flip it, so over the course of the time, you may want to flip it once or twice so that both sides really crisp up. Because if you just do one side, the underside's basically going to be very moist. So once it's done, put it back in the air fryer with no heat for 5 minutes to let it rest. Let that chicken rest. And you can see how good it is, how authentic it looks. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, why not consider hitting the subscribe button before we get into this taste test? Welcome back to the taste test. Today's cook was air fried KFC. Now, I've said it before, if there is one pick that you can have to cook anything in the air fryer, I suspect that a lot of people are going to go for KFC because it is an absolute fan favorite, packed full of flavor. And utilizing the air fryer, we have a couple of benefits over trying to do it in the conventional manner. We can use the deep fat fryer, but you know, we are saving on getting all the smells everywhere, getting the oil everywhere, and also using, you know, a gallon of oil in order to cook that chicken. We can stick it in the air fryer, really simple, and we get a decent result. And we in my opinion, we get a much better result than if you attempted to do the same recipe in the conventional oven. And it's something, in my opinion, it's something about the close proximity. You know, you've got an oven, it's like this big, you know, so there is a lot of dry air about, whereas the air fryer is much smaller and it's whizzing around at a fast pace, and it just creates something, it creates a result that, you know, is what we want. It's not going to be 100% KFC because there are so many methodologies and things that they do in those restaurants to create that we just can't. But we can do, we can have a good stab at it, and we can create something that we like and has a great result. Okay, so let's just take a look at some of the bits and pieces that we've got. You can see there, that is the thigh, and it is fully coated. This was just one coating. I did not do a double coating, and it is still got an absolutely fantastic coating. None of it has come off, which is great. We can look at the drumsticks as well. Look at how good they look. Absolutely almost identical to what you would expect in a KFC bucket. So I'm just going to go and have a cheeky taste of the drumstick. Wow. That is so close. Trust me, that is so close to KFC. There's probably just that 1%. And that 1%, we probably know what that 1% is, and it's not in this. But I think this is a very solid attempt. I think you're going to like it. Has so much flavor, so much depth. The chicken is cooked all the way through. So give it a go. Let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments if you are going to make KFC in the air fryer. Would you make KFC in the air fryer? Have you ever made it before? What did you do differently? Let me know.